Hello everyone, welcome to the Guild Wars 2 Arena Net PvP. What the hell? Are you serious right now? I just wanted to cast some PvP. Right, okay, we're gonna do this instead. The Shatterer. We're gonna cast this. We're gonna see how well we're gonna go. But we need to take this guy down. He's been buffed, and he has got a lot more strength than he had before. Now we can glide interior. What? There's too much going on my screen in one go. And we are trying to use some of those bombs that we have been issued as well. The drop bombs, the damage and knock down foes, but unfortunately taken out by the shards there in that phase. And we are looking like we're going to have to respawn here. Waiting for that respawn timer. Jebro is going to move back into the map and try and assist his allies in taking down the Shatterer here. He jumps onto this mortar cannon, has the first and second ability, of course. He's going to be able to do some healing as well as a lot of damage onto this guy. Of course, the Shatterer has been buffed immensely recently with many more minions coming out as well as a lot more damage. And really, it's a lot more challenging than it was before. You can no longer stand at the foot of this big guy and really just hit one. You now have to think about it, you have to move, and you have to be able to use a lot of the mechanics that are very beneficial to you and your team. But they're trying to attack the mortars now, and we see many minions starting to move in towards our position. Have to take those guys out, otherwise we will lose those mortars. And no, we've lost our mortar, and we won't be able to use that for a little bit of time now. And we have been able to wipe them out, but the damage has been done, and the mortars have been taken out for now. Moving back into the field, of course, now using that hammer to try and knock back some of these guys and actually get some damage on them as well, but we get defeated ourselves and push back the Gaza down as well. It's looking pretty dire around here, looking for the res, but no, there's not enough time. We've got to go and save our allies who will be imprisoned unless we're very careful here. A mob does start to jump onto Jebro, just needs to make sure he gets away, maybe getting some CC as well, some extra damage to protect some of those mortars because they are needed and they're very useful trying to take down the Shatterer at extreme range and not risking as much attack as those poor fellas down there by the legs, of course. Still in melee range, a lot of damage can be done to those guys, and we're just trying to clear up some of these fellas around the back here to make sure that they can actually be defended on those mortars, of course. Now moving into the fray, Jebro tries to get some damage onto the Shatterer, but does get defeated, just able to avoid some of that damage there. Needs to be very careful as he moves in and actually evades potential attack from the Shatterer there. Does get the roar off, but I don't think we are going to be able to see the taunt coming out from him as of yet. Moving back, we're going to see is summoning the pulsing crystal nodes that we have to defeat. We have to actually, knock those down, defeating that break bar to make sure that he's not going to be able to regenerate. So once the break bar is defeated, he can then move on and destroy those, and the Shatterer will not heal as much as he possibly can. He can be healed up really high, even to full health, so you need to be extremely careful when doing this. So doing a good job at the moment, has got the CC on there, but hasn't got much damage coming onto this crystal, with the rest of the raid coming over towards to assist there as they have been able to take out more of those crystals. Of course, we go back into the Shatterer. He's at about 60% HP. Jebro moves into the fray to try and get some extra damage on that leg there. As you can see, the rest of the members positioned, offering up some AoE healing and whatnot as well, but they all get imprisoned. This is big, this is massive. The Shatterer could cause a critical blow to the raid team at the moment, and it would defeat a lot of their damage that's incoming. AoE comes down onto Jebro, able to avoid with that assassin stance, of course, and able to put some damage back onto some of these mobs and back onto the Shatterer as well. But as you can see, so much damage around at the moment, a lot more AoE than in previous fights. The Shatterer is here, he's back, and he wants to get his revenge onto these players because they've been able to kick his ass on multiple occasions pretty easily, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be as easy this time, as they have tried multiple times throughout the day, and he just keeps coming back for more, doing more damage, and our healing costs are getting more expensive, although not really, because they're not expensive anymore, because you don't have to pay for it. But hey ho, you can see now Jebro and the rest of the raid starting to move away now, take out some of these mobs, as well as trying to avoid this AoE damage. That's massive there as the Branded come back into the map, and they're starting to be recalled by the Shatterer, starting to push those guys out more. And now we need to get some extra damage here, as the Shatterer is starting to get a lot lower, as it starts to put that AoE damage onto the base of the Shatterer. Of course, foot damage is very overpowered apparently as well, and he's going to also, Jebro probably going to assist with some healing kits pits down there by the Shatterer's foot as well, where the rest of the guys are standing, because they have indeed buffed that, and you can now drop some med kits with that as well. And if people are in down state, the splash damage and whatnot, they will be able to get healed by that. You can see the amount of healing power that's coming up. He's going to try and assist with the res here. Is he going to be able to get it off? He's at about half HP. Needs to try and work harder here, and we do see the res coming out, assisted by, of course, that mortar number 2, and he's doing a fantastic job in doing so as well. And now we're going to be able to see because of that fantastic ground targeting as well. Very, very useful. The shard phase comes out. We need to try and kill these healing crystals and actually, you know, taking them down, but having problems trying to aim with the mortar. The mortar obviously able to do take down some of that bar there as well, but Jebro failing at the moment to try and target, and he's having a lot of issues here. He really needs to get off there and use his hammer. Is able to do that as well as his staff to get some nice control effects onto that crystal, so they're enabled to try and actually take it down. Still new to the fight, he's not going to give up and jumps back onto the mortar, but AoE pressure comes down. He realizes that's going to happen and gets a nice dodge out there, and the mortar does take a little bit of damage. He needs to be careful as he gets back onto the mortar and trying to do some more damage, but it looks like the Shatter has actually been healed up a considerable amount, and he needs to be very careful now as the timer is ticking down and we haven't got much time left. It feels like everything is against these guys in this raid at present. As we flip a little bit more into the later stages of the fight, a big knockback comes out from the Shatter as well, and that really depletes a lot of damage that's available to come out from Jebro and the rest of the raid if anyone else was careless enough to be knocked back like he was in a scrub nature. But now he's able to get back onto the mortar and give some more damage, interrupting a lot of those skills down there as well of the enemies, as he's able to do some nice knockbacks as well. And you can see trying to target, but unfortunately not able to do very much there. The healing comes out for one of his compadres who's down in the field as well, and they're doing a fantastic job. Lots of mortar damage coming out onto these guys. With 4 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock, these guys are looking good at the moment as the Shatter is down to about 30 or 40% HP. They need to be very careful, and Jebro especially needs to use the mortar to his advantage here and get as much damage down as possible, as well as healing when that's on off cooldown as well. They're doing a great job at trying to make sure that none of these branded are going to be able to take out the mortars as well, as you do see the turrets currently armed by a few members of the raid at present. The turrets, of course, have been buffed as well. The turret first attack now increased stun duration from knockback 1 second to 2 seconds now, and increased damage, as well as the second turret attack. And now shrapnel blast now creates a bleeding, crippling field. So that's very good. Mortar attacks, like I said before, now cause knockdown, which is needed to help get that break bar down. But the Shatter is now summoning those pulsing crystals, so you got to make sure you get those break bars down, and that's what he's on his way to do. As the rest of the raid are focusing on the others, I'm closest to this one, so it's quicker for me to grab over on this actual crystal and take that bar down, and then get some nice damage off. We see a nice kill there coming out for the branded. They are moving towards the rest of the raid there as well, which makes it a lot easier for Jebro to try and take out one of those crystals. We see other members gliding down now as well, as they realise they do have to assist with that. Has the Shatterer been able to heal a considerable amount? It do believe he has. Lots of AoE pressure coming down as well from the Shatterer and a lot of his branded minions, as you see the rest of the raid currently down by the bottom of the feet of the Shatterer, trying to take him out, as Jebro does try to get some healing and damage, get some nice damage out from the mortar there on that hit, trying to drop some of those med kit packs as well, as of course, you know, they can revive as well as assist players that are in down state, as well as obviously the res that comes out from those allies down on the field. So doing a good job at the moment. The rest of the members on those turrets and mortars just hitting from range. He's going down quite low here. They're not taking much advantage of that defiance bar, and actually able to get him very vulnerable many times on this map, unfortunately, but they're able to get a lot of damage down. They've gone down to about 25 to 20% HP. It's looking pretty good for this raid at the moment. Can they kill him within the time limit left? We've only got about 2.5 minutes left. It's looking a bit dire at the moment. Not sure they're going to be able to do it. The Revenant comes in with the Ventari tablet, of course, to operate and to give some shielding as well as some nice healing, and also CC to some of these guys. Try and get some nice healing out to the operators on those mortar kits, of course. The UI, oh no, Jebro goes down. It does get rallied, of course, as well as we see some healing, and also one of the branded did go down, which rallies him team back up. I just want to make sure they take this guy out, but the mortar kit is down. It is out, and they need to try and find some other weaponry here as Jebro goes for the res. He's able to get it there as well successfully. Not going onto the gliding jump pad there on the left-hand side, as you saw right at the start there, because he had a bit of a nasty fall before, but those obviously very, very useful. But he's assigned to this group in the raid for the mortar usage. Then now the Shatterer is down to about 5% HP. It looks like it's about to go down, but everyone gets imprisoned. Are they going to be able to take him out and move him on? He does get taken out here, and the raid is successful, and they're able to push the Shatterer out of the map for another time for him to return. Jebro and the raid extremely happy with this first defeat of the Shatterer that they've been able to witness. Other members gliding in, gliding of course available interior now as well, and this is a good start to this obviously new revamped fight of the Shatterer. A lot of coordination there gone into that fight. Everyone just gathering themselves after a tough battle. Looks good for the guys at the moment, as they are able to push him away. No celebrations as of yet, but a dance party is needed after a successful kill of such an interesting boss, and everyone gathers up for this last hurrah as they are able to defeat the Shatterer. Grab their extra rare, now 2 available from the loot rather than just 1. Obviously if it becomes harder, why not give you some extra loot? And that's an extra edition, which is probably why everyone's dancing so hard. And they are able to actually get a new back piece as well through the meta achievements, and you can see this thing is bloody amazing. Look at the state of this. It looks awesome with the legendary staff, of course, if you're going for that, and the rest of the gear here that comes out from Heart of Thorns. Good stuff from the guys. Not able to get it yet. Once they completed all the achievements, of course, that will be on my agenda when it comes to the game, and that is indeed today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this randomness. We'll go back to PvP very shortly. See you soon. Take care. Make sure to go kick some ass that is Shatterer ass, so I can come back and you can do it again. Take it easy.